I guess they're hedging on the fact that the Nolan deals so much damage.
4 minutes is going to be the time.
That they can afford to do this with the Matilda in mid.
I'm looking at 4 minutes. I kind of feel like at 4 minutes, Lil Gun will do something here.
Again, if you think back of their play style, the wild card, when they showed these reverse sweeps and everything, they loved the timing, the early momentum, and if it's pick-off potential, but then you sprinkle in some utility with the Matilda, that could work really well for them, plus the R-Lot there. Nolan, though, he's their glass cannon, so to speak, for the majority of this game.
This Kaja has one good target and one bad target. Good for the Lilia because you can't escape with the black shoes, and Lilia has very low HP. But bad with the Guinevere. If the Guinevere exits her fake body, then you're going to be, locking on the wrong target.
Yeah.
Her Kage Bunshin.
Yeah, the fake body. You got to work around that. But one thing that sticks out here, and I'll let you talk a little bit more about this, LaFell, what you think of the compositions. They're so tanky on the other side of Team Flash, right? They're so durable, and it might be a little bit hard for them if they do try to go for a pickoff and then someone doesn't go down right away here. So let's go ahead and look at this breakdown, LaFell.
The weakness of a very strong body is if you take down the body very, very early on. Because if your composition banks on the fact that you guys can just trample. If you can trample over your opponents, if that's your win condition, if your tramplers cannot do the trampoline, then it's not going to be looking good. So I feel like the Kaja in the early game, just kill the Minotaur, just kill the Edith, and then there will be no problem. They're not going to be afraid of anything.
Well, we'll find out if they're afraid or not. LaFell's giving it. The trample is the key here. Loading into the land of Dawn. Game number 1 here, second series of day number 3. Team Lil Gun and Team Flash. Team Lil Gun making their debut since the wild card here. We'll see exactly how they decide to download this game alone and come out swinging, or do they answer to Team Flash here? Already early rotations coming through. LaFell, how are things looking to play?
Right now, it does look like what Team Flash was trying to do was to pressure the mid and perhaps try to figure out where Nolan is. But Forbit, as well as Ethan, has been doing quite a good job to make sure that they stay in their own lane, making sure that Zixora is not getting, I don't know what was the word, not getting slowed down. And in fact, the fact that Zixora is now going inside the opposing jungle is more or less just going to equalize, because that's basically the same thing what Hades is doing. I'm really looking at Team Lil Gun. If they're not slowed down by the 5th or 4th minute mark, might be their game.
Yeah, and even looking at the emblems here, anything that sticks out for you to give that early advantage that they might be looking for.
The rupture on the Arlet shows that early rotations coming in from the Arlet might give off more damage than you expect.
Yeah, that's the double, also common emblem being used here. But already, early on, there probably is going to be too much forced out right now, because even the lineup here.
Uh-oh. Eisen gets knocked up into the skies. Full-on combo from Hades. They draw first blood. The clap back from Zixora. Here comes the cavalry. 3 members from the Mongolian squad. Not enough of a hold just yet. Adamir gets away.
Okay, so take that back. I didn't think there was going to be a kill before the first turtle, but Team Flash able to find it, get it in the hands of Hades as well, right? So in terms of the jungle matchup, that's a little bit of an advantage he can work with. And now leading into this first turtle, if Team Flash is able to secure the first objective, Team Lil Gun, they'll be working back from a deficit early on already. So we'll see how it all plays out. Once again, just both gold laners duking it out for now.
I would say it's a big advantage for Team Flash having that kill onto Hades, but the lineup from Team Lil Gun, it's not going to be easy for Hades to actually catch anyone.
Ain't no one home. Free turtle take for Team Flash. I think Team Lil Gun just have to accept the fact that they're not just there yet. Team Flash understand the speed that Lil Gun's capable of. Level 4s already across the board, except for Eisen and Ethan. Is that what you're referring to about 4s? Or is it timers at 4?
I would say timers at 4. I kind of feel like the time just dropped a little bit just because of how Eisen was killed earlier on. I don't know, Team Lil Gun, the way that they're moving around the map is not as aggressive as I would hope for. Perhaps this is more of them downloading, understand what Team Flash is doing, because even at the goal lane, it looks like Vanix is able to push Brody off, is able to push Bebex off the farm. Adamir winning his lane as well. Right now, Team Flash, they're controlling all sense of the map.
Yeah, again, early on, these decisions here do build up quite quickly. so far from what we've seen from these other games, right? But Team Logan, they're going to have to catch up here just a little bit. If they can get into a position where they can contest the next objective, which is going to be that turtle here in less than a minute, that would be best.
Forbid, down to a third of his health. Gonna have to disengage. Not a good look going up against 3 members of Team Flash. About 1,000 gold ahead. You can already see how those little items actually add up.
Yeah, right now I'm really looking at Ethan as well as Xora. I kind of feel like they should be moving around the map together, because at this point you could get a kill, because I feel like the Fracture is going to be strong enough, especially to take out Jay. If they can take out Jay, making sure that perhaps 2 or 3 deaths before the Lord starts, it might affect his confidence, and it can affect how they want to play around that neutral objective.
Cool. Double blades here too, also for Team Logan. So I feel like the past 4 minutes has been that setup. Like, let's wait till we find the pickoff we're looking for, right? Ethan is going to be the guy to do that with the Divine Judgment, and that's what they're looking to follow up. Get that initial burst down, get the numbers advantage, and then turn the tide from there, because what's across from them once again is Team Flash's very durable, tanky lineup.
Here we go. Ethan with the Divine Judgment. Down goes the big old cow. Lozy gets taken down. The trade-off for Bebex and Ethan. Big wins for Team Flash underneath Tier 1 in mid. They're forcing the issue. Jay crossing the threshold. Black Shoes on out. Turtle still getting taken care of by Hades. Team Flash with a big dub.
I would say amazing play coming in from Team Flash. The right idea, trying to take down Lolzy very early on. It's kind of like investing your resources to make sure that when the Lord comes, it's not going to be all that great. But hold on, Aizen taking a little bit of damage. Going back to my point, Adamir as well as Hades tried their best to protect Lolzy, and just by default, you got a lot out of it. So amazing play by Adamir as well as Hades.
Yeah, again, when you saw that team fight kind of unfold, that's exactly what they were going for, right? They had the double blades they were working for. They got a quick kill on Lolzy, but after the initial burst was done, there was nothing else they could do, right? They just kind of run out of firepower, so they kind of have to upgrade and get to a point where then you have Bebex there later on to provide some of that damage, pump out the torn apart memories, because when that initial burst is gone, Team Logan just kind of runs out of, firepower, so to speak. So with that, they might want to just go ahead, stay a little passive for the most part. If you can't grab a kill with Ethan utilizing the combination with the Divine Judgment, then maybe just play a little safe for now. But really the question is that the right choice with a Nolan in the draft? And that is tough as well.
That's miserable. Grand Theft Purple, Hades guilty of 1 count already. Xora has to lick his wounds.
Yeah, Hades as well. Oh, Xora finds Hades, and Lolzy finds Ethan.
And the full-on combo using the ult to cleanse. Team Lilgun on the back foot.
Right now, honestly, Team Flash, they're looking very good because Hades already completed his Genius 1. So at this point, he kind of doesn't even need his team. He can go in by himself.
Yeah, the damage was kind of scary, right?
Very scary.
And you and I think even Gideon yesterday talked about this with the Guinevere, the way that it works. But again, when you line it up with having this Minotaur, having an Edith by your side, you're not so worried, right? Because you can jump in with a spatial migration. If you land it, great. You pump out the damage, you get out, and you can have still set up peel even available for you, right? And that's why this whole time, man, Vanex has just been having the gold lane experience. He hasn't had to do too much. He's farming up, and eventually he's going to be the big threat here against Team Lilgun.
The way that I look at it, with the build coming in from Hades, all the crowd control that Guinevere has is just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Shout out again to Mundan. Because at this point, he doesn't really need all those crowd controls. He could just run them down. What are they going to do about it? The Genius 1 is enough.
Yeah, that's the scary part of it, right? Again, can you buy enough time? We've seen so many games here get to that first Lord spawn, and you have this lead now. It's almost nearly 5,000 gold, and when it gets to that, oh, hold on, Ethan.
Oh, the Divine Judgment, circling Eagle, got the answer back. Minnow and Fury, ain't no one home, backing off. Team Flash, tight formations. Lilgun calls for the back off. At least they know their dynamic. At least they know that neither team could have forced that in that jungle pit.
A little bit of mistake there. It looks like Ethan was a little bit desperate trying to get any kind of kills that he can, but the fact that Lolzy was there trying to protect Hades, that was the big difference maker, but he could have gotten the kill if...
That's tough. And the flicker as well. Yeah, that's tough to recover from, right?
They're downloading. They're downloading right now.
They're trying to download. I don't think they're going to convert anything here, really. They're going to lose that tier 2 in the bottom lane. And this is looking very dire right now, right? It's 8.5 minutes in. You still have a little bit till that Lord's up. But really, Team Lilgun, where do you find this moment to turn things around? Is it Aizen that has to land this final slash? Because even if you final slash, you know, any of these members in, Lolzy or Adamir can most likely just jump in and cause chaos.
Honestly, at this, personally for me, Team Lilgun has to find a way to get some kind of map control, because the strength of Kaja is that you don't know where this Kaja is going to come from. If they find a way to flank from behind, catch Vanix off first, hide away, wait for your cooldowns, and then go back in for Jay or Hades, that's probably a good win condition.
Look at this. Lolzy caught up, circling Eagle, the answer back from Forbid. Lolzy very low, Lolzy gonna survive. There's the ult spent up. Oh, Primal Wrath, keeping Adamir alive, extra HP. Just like that, Team Flash still with the senses.
So even with that, you can see, even here in the items, right, that it looked like that should have been a moment where they could have gotten a kill. What happened there, LaFell?
Not enough damage. It really, Bebex probably needs a Malefic Roar. Then it might be enough.
He's
and
2K behind.
I mean, that, and they have a Matilda where the Matilda's damage is conditional. Oh,
here we go. They're looking to blitz it. Circling Eagle, the answer back. Lolzy knocked out. Final slash. Big ticket ult, but Forbid bites the dust. Bebex trading in. Aizen taken out. Vanix gets his first kill. Down goes the Ixora.
Oh.
It's almost a hat trick for Vanix this time. Ethan running off. There it is. Olay! Team Flash. Big wins. Ethan running off, the only survivor. The Singaporean squad takes everything.
The reason why I say the Matilda's damage is situational, the way that her wisp work is that they're gonna find a target and then they're going after it. But if it's a singular target, that's maximum damage. If there's a lot of people there, you're gonna spread it out, and sometimes that makes it that it's not enough. At this point, the whole problem with their composition is it's very pick-off heavy. If teams are moving together, you don't have a good target that you want to pick off, and at this point, Vanix has skilled up. He has all the damage. He can 1v5 if he wants.
So I was saying, you know, you get to that point where you're in the gold lane experience and then you just pop off like he just did here. Look at the massive gold advantage that Vanix has as well because of that triple that he got. So this gets even scarier because for Team Little Gun, that's what you're seeing, right? If the final slash is going to be utilized by Aizen, or let's say even Ethan jumps in, really once one of those are taken out, you don't have this kind of front line to really deal with a lot of the damage being thrown at you from Team Flash, right? And that's the whole point of the draft. They wanted to go with these pick-off oriented plays, but right now they're going to have to defend into their base here at the whims of Team Flash. First turret already going to go down.
They're already inside the base. They're making work of that Lord. Oh. Divine Judgment on to Adamir. Forbid gets the kill. Lord taken care of, sacrificing their mid lane inhibitor. Bottom lane up next. Big siege canyons. The minions are still crashing on through, and Team Flash not going to force the issue.
I would say that's still a pretty good trade. I mean, they lost Adamir, but they got 2 inhibitors at this point. Team Little Gun, it looks like the way they can get a kill is if they actually pull Team Flash into their base. But again, there's a cooldown on that Divine Judgment. You can only get one. After you get that one, what are you going to do next?
Not only that, but the disparity between the damage dealt between both gold laners speaks for itself because of how much of a gap there is in terms of the gold that we talked about earlier, right? So really, when you're looking at it once again, Team Logan probably has to buy another 5+ minutes. And if that's finding some pickoffs, great. If they can make that happen, but really, a lot of that has to rely right now on Bebex. He's got to get to a point where he can pump out the damage. Oh, Hades.
Forbid uses the Purify. You were saying about Hades.
Yeah, again.
That was a love tap.
It was. It was kind of just, the thing is Team Flash is so far ahead right now, and they know that even with the lineup they have, they can make choices like that. Whether they're checking bushes with Hades, whether it be Adamir, they have so many options down the line they can go with here.
They're really looking at Bebex as well as Ixora to deal with damage, because even the Matilda, this is more of a utility kind of build. So they're trying to survive longer than Team Flash, but I don't know how there's going to work out because Bebex, I don't think that Bebex can have a good position going up against Team Flash because you want to get close enough to deal damage, but if you're close enough to deal damage, you're close enough to get caught. That's a big problem.
It's a downside. You pick the Brody because of the space, right? You work with the space, but how do you get the marks off when you have this lineup like this, just barreling their way into the jungle even?
An additional problem is the fact that Brody needs time. You need those stacks. In Team Flash, they're not letting Lil Gun find those windows of opportunity. But wait, they're coming in. Conceal play from Forbid. Finding that angle up top. Big knockup from the Lord. Circling Eagle. Aka! Unless Aizen gets taken down first, so that's already a man down. 2 men down. Adamir gets 2. Adamir traded out for. Ethan goes as well. Bebex, where you going? Hades takes him down. CXO falls, but steals the Lord in the process. Not worth it. Team Flash gonna go straight for the base.
Oh, I think that's going to be it here. Again, he did get the Lord. There's still about 14 seconds, 10 seconds for Ryzen, and Team Flash will run it in.
That's it. Game 1, 15 minutes under. Team Flash 1-0.
Again, I just have to remind you, that was an amazing game. Team Flash